And see, uh, there, there. Mary, I'm going to make you co-host so you can mute out for me. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And it's a pleasure to have you.
And record.
Thought I was. Am I not?
Yeah, you're recording. I see it now. You're
Okay,
good.
fine. Thank you. Forgot what I was saying. Other than
Good
good morning to you. And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thursday was smash. We had a huge group on Thursday. So the momentum is building. And really, I want to welcome everyone here. On behalf of our entire team, I want to thank, first of all, Rajiv and his family for presenting us with an incredible opportunity, a factory, a major marketing, international marketing company, shares in the profits of the company. I've not in 50 years been in a situation where a company is willing to share profits with the field. And so we won't go through all that today, but definitely we've got an exceptional opportunity with great products and stellar, absolutely marketing team led by Marvin, Brad, and the corporate staff, but most of all, you. And so in onboarding, what I'd like to point out today, I asked Michael to go through some things with you because on Friday, I wished that had been recorded. And so in the season of resurrection, we must tie new thoughts to our self-discipline for success in our Angeli business. It's time for us to set aside old doubts and hesitations to experience true growth and success in our journey. We must rise above old ways of thinking. In fact, the very first training program I ever had, it was a matter of words. It was rise above it. And so whatever it was, the products was several weeks late, rise above it. How do you go out and sell these cosmetics? Rise above it. How do I get a new car? Rise above it. How do I get rise above it? So we must rise above our old ways of thinking. This is a call to awakening your personal resurrection, ushering in fresh thoughts and innovative ideas. And that's what you're going to get today. Fresh thoughts, innovative ideas. It takes personal self-discipline to clear the path. However, I believe in you. So today, let us commit to our transformation. And God bless you, Mamuna.
Oh,
You see, if you don't grow through it, you will continue to go through it. If we don't grow through it, we'll continue to go through it. And I've experienced so much of that in my life. So today, let's get committed. And there's a lot of exciting things happen. Sean, I'm glad to see you. Mary, Felix, I'm glad to see you. Boy, we're beginning to show up and show out. And
Thank you.
Doctor, I want you to say something. We got our second doctor today, yesterday, and all in 2 weeks. So anyway, Miss Lena was the first person on. Lena, tell me what's exciting happening outside of both of us waking up your sister.
I'm so sorry. And she's on. There's so much excitement going on. It is a brand a beautiful day. It is Resurrection Weekend for those of us who follow, who believe in those things. It is, everything is well with the family. Everything is well, I hear, with Pastor Chris. My sister has joined. I have another friend. I think she's having some technical issues, but she's on her way to joining. Um, there's a lot of excitement. It is time for moving on and moving up. Um, that's the way. It is time for that self-discipline to be implemented in order for changes to happen. We can't continue to do the same things and expect different results. And for me personally, that self-discipline that we talked about this week, that's one of the key issues. So I am definitely doing it. I've had my walk already. I've had my water. I've had my Angelique this morning. So I am ready to go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's with great pleasure that I present to you a founding brand ambassador, Mr. Michael Avery, and his life partner. Unbelievable. The magic behind the magic. And so, Michael, tell me when to go, and I'm at your service, sir.
Okay, there you go. Well, this past week on the Champions Call, we all were enthralled with the idea of self-discipline. From Monday, whether it was Linda reading or Christine or Leslie, the impact of the idea that Napoleon Hill wrote so many years ago about self-discipline. And what I would talk about on Friday with David's direction, of course, was the idea of being a business person. If you're a brand ambassador, you need to know about your business. And I had a lesson early in my life. I worked with a Chinese American that had a really nice restaurant, and I worked a split shift for him as a bartender. And when I'd get finished, I would sit down and have my lunch, and I'd see this little Chinese guy over there counting every ticket that had come in. And what he did is he took every waiter's ticket that they had written that morning, and he'd make sure that all the math was correct on each one, and then he'd add it up. So by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he knew what lunch had done. They do the same thing at night. Unbelievable hard worker, but attention to detail and self-discipline is at the core of that idea. That what we have is a direction that we personally take on, that I decide what I'm going to do. And the back office is really exciting, honestly. When you go in there and you see the stuff that happened yesterday, or stuff that you knew was going to happen and didn't happen, you can see your whole business back there. And anytime you want to talk about it with me, I'm happy to talk to you about it, because it's a very exciting, it's the most, I mean, if being an entrepreneur, having started lots of companies for myself and other people over the last 50 years, I've never seen an ability to know your business any better than what we have available by, essentially for $10. You can have all this stuff back there. So I encourage you to learn it. And if you don't know it, talk to me. Those of you that I have worked with, you know that we can get around any problem. We can backdate stuff, get stuff straightened out, find coupons. And the thing, you can go ahead and advance it, David. That what we have to do is start with the idea. What's my business? And at the very beginning, that business, there you go. That make sure you have 100 RV. And what it should also say on there is by the 7th. By the 7th of this month. So this is the last day, this day and tomorrow, the last days of March that we can add to it. And if you haven't used your bounce back, like Mary, I know she got it straightened away yesterday and she used her 20% bounce back from the first of the month. So you want to make sure that you get that 100 RV loyalty order in by the 7th so that you got that 20% bounce back. So that the great things that have happened, that's one of them. The second one is that you're wave 1 qualified, that you have 3 active personals, all with 100 RV. When you have those 3 things going at the same time, and you're teaching those people to get 3 people under them, now we have a business. Now we have a business at work that we can get stronger with. And those 3 teams, as a leader, you demonstrate. And by you showing them that you know the back office portal, you can gather them up. So when David has a Champions University, you can be there and 3 of your people and 3 of their people can be on this. And instead of having 24 people on, we can have 48 people on, or 72 people on, or 100 people on. It's just this little progression each of us take a responsibility for. Now, the other part about we're coming up on the bottom of this month, we got these 2 days that could buy a little bit more. But then on Monday is April 1st, and the corporate update call is on there. So you want to be on that for sure to see the things that happened last month on the 1st. That corporate update call is where we got all these unbelievable prices. I mean, the Relief that used to be called Theramel was like $97 when David invited me in the first place. Now it's $49. And then when you get a whole pack, like I did with my 20%, and I talked about this yesterday morning, but that bounce back, by using that 20%, I was able to actually buy it cheaper than any, it's like a deal. And you want to get inventory. So the inventory that you have can continue to be what you have plenty of and give it to people, sell it to people. You're in business. So that's what we're talking about here is business. You can give me next slide if you want to.
Before you go to the next slide, let me jump in here a minute to demonstrate the value of what you just said. Joseph is on and he talks about marketing. So I used my 20% bounce back. And so I bought 12 packs of the ambrosia. So guess what? I marketed that out through donations through a church. So that went out at $50. I gave the church $18. I made $2 on each. And I bought it for $30 a pack. And then on the 15th of the month, because we get paid 5 times a month, I'll come back and get the RV. Absolutely incredible. And that's what Michael is talking about. Okay? Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you go to St. Peter, you're gonna tell him that you kept $2 and gave them 18? Is that how you're working this deal for the long haul? No, I'm teasing.
Well, the marketing program called for $15.
Yeah, I know.
But
That's what I'm
based on the
saying.
referrals that Bishop gave me, he was excited about the extra money.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, all I'm really talking about this morning is just planning. So what you're gonna do, where you're at, how much money you're gonna make, what your goals are, what your vision is. If that's guiding you every day to make sure that you're doing money-making activities every day. And part of that is to make sure that the things, somebody calls you and tells you that they want to buy some product, and then you look in your back office and you see they didn't buy the product, then you can say, what happened? Can I help you? And you can make sure that sale goes through. You can make sure they get the product. Any problems they have, you're on top of your business. So the office portal is really a place to do it. But the first thing there, our weekly events, our trainings, it's again like going to the gym and you're working out. Then you work on your chest, or you work on your arms, or you work on your legs, or you work on your back. There's every step of the way. First grade, second grade, third grade, however you want to look at a week. But Monday through Friday, the Champions Call, the Insight Forum, whatever you want to call it, is really powerful and important for our growth and our people. And people that come on, and is growing actually stronger than any other group that gets together, is in the morning now at the Champions Call. And that Monday night, come and see the leaders, the corporate leaders, and what they're going to do this month. I'm excited about what they're going to do. And then the Tuesday night with Glenn is really powerful and really quick and really clear. And it's where you can enroll people. So make sure you're bringing people. And then Thursday night, I think Brad's was the best one he's ever done. And he's done some great ones, but last Thursday was over the top. So to have all this business in front of you is what's important, and how you're doing it. All of this and all the products we have. And we know all the products and the ambrosia that David has put together, that doggone, all the products that are in that one gummy, to know them and to be able to share them. But water is, I swear, water is the driving force in lots of ways. And some people use it as the first thing they want to talk about and the first thing they want to take. It's the first thing that I take. I'm drinking my water right now, all the time. And one of the guys that has had a remarkable experience with it is Spencer Taylor. The guy has been in a hospital and he's been working at. But I'd like him to come on, Coach, and share his point of view about the water, if we could, please.
Spencer?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone.
There he is.
Yeah, all I can say is that I'm down to one medication now since I've been using this water. I was on 7 different medications when I first got ill, and now I'm on one medication that I don't even take every day. So it's starting to fluctuate now to the point where sometimes I need it, and then sometimes the nurse say I don't need it. And so this water has been a blessing. Came across an article this week that said almost 50% of the water supply in the US is dangerous. That is incredibly amazing that this is not only happening in the US, but it's happening everywhere. So we gotta let people know that we have the best portable water filtration system on the planet. Because remember, it doesn't matter how many products you take or what you eat, you need water. And so that's the first thing I do when I get up in the morning. I'm drinking my water. It starts the detoxification process in the body. That is the most important thing that we can do. So the water, yes, it's a great thing. Another tip I did is I asked the AI to tell me what was ambrosia by Angelique Global. And what it did is it gave me an overview of the product that I turned into a blog post to educate people. So you can use the AI to ask about the products by Angelique Global, and it will give you a complete overview of that product and what it does that you can now share on social media. So we have to educate people, and that is a great way to let everybody know that what we have cannot compete. Remember, we have news, we have PubMed, we have all this documentation that nobody else has, and nobody else never will. So we have to educate people and let them know that we have the best. And with that, Coach,
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings out to you, my brother. Blessings out to you. And so with that, you guys can look at that. I want to move quickly into my renowned public speaker, Ms. Kim Law.
Good morning, everybody. I am so excited to be here. I want to share with you some amazing things. You know, we are truly blessed. You know, how many people had the opportunity to know a man by the name of Alexander Fleming? Does anybody know who Alexander Fleming is? He's the man who discovered penicillin. We are sitting right now with a discovery of products that is huge, just like the discovery of penicillin when it came out in the early or late 1800s. I want you to think about this. We're sitting with a company that's philosophy is all about Ayurvedics. We have products that help the body to restore itself because God didn't make a mistake. He designed our bodies to be able to heal and restore. When it's injured, we get a cut, it has a wound, scab, cleans up, falls off, and it renews. Every 7 years, our body is completely renewed. When I went blind 18 years ago now, it's been quite a while, I went blind from taking prescribed medication. You see me all happy and seeing now, but for 16 years of my life, I was completely blind from bilateral acute ankle closure glaucoma with Glockenflecken. No, I'm not cussing. It's actually a thing. Glockenflecken is very rare. It happens. It's kind of like the perfect storm. Well, I had the perfect storm in both eyes at the same time. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because we need to know the value of what it is that we have that we're working with. These products, because they are designed specifically to enhance the body's ability to function the way it's supposed to, we've got something that nobody else has, just like Mr. Fleming had something that nobody else had, but made a huge difference globally. We're in the same position. What if you were Mr. Fleming's best bud and you were helping to market penicillin and all the people that you could help during that era and today, right? Well, we're sitting on the brink of that right now. We are literally in the position with products, Nutraveda, Ayurvedic line, that is absolutely hands down. There's no other products on the market. We owned a health food store for 13 years. And I can tell you, in all the years that we owned our health food store, we never came across any product line that had the fullness, the most extensive product line that Anjali has. You know, they might have one product that was pretty good or two that might be was good for specific things, but you'd have to like combine a whole bunch of different things. What Anjali has done is they've taken all the ingredients and combined them into targeted areas for wellness, like inflammation, neurological pain, inflammatory pain, stress, anxiety, all these type of things for specific areas of the body. whether it's circulatory, whether it's neurological, it doesn't matter. They've targeted these areas. So if you have something neurological that's got going on, maybe it's stress, maybe it's sharp electrical pains, the same product, Tranquility, is what we would be taking for that. If it's inflammation, for me, it was inflammation with my eyes and other areas of my body. I was taking the Renew for the herniated discs. 8 of them I had in my back. As a side blessing, it worked where I could function because of the herniated disc, but it restored my sight by taking the inflammation off my eyes and the scar tissue. So, folks, this is something that's a whole new vision of where we're going. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you now some conversations that we can have to be able to share what we've got with Anjali. Coach, if you could go to that slide for me. So here are some conversations that we can have. First of all, this is what we have to set up for ourselves. What are we doing? Are we, when we're going in and it says today and every day, I expose how many people? So you set your goal. Mine is a minimum of 10. I expose 10 people a day, whether it be, and then I write down, I'm going to do, for me, Facebook is a challenge. I'm still learning because I was blind for 16 years. So I'm learning that kind of a thing. Phone calls, I'm all there. Emails, I'm all there. But Facebook and that kind of stuff. So for me, I do 3 Facebook posts. When it comes to phone calls, I might do 5. When it comes to text messages, I'll do another 5. Social media, I might do 1 or 2. So postcards, that's something I do for our fundraising projects that we're doing. So it depends on if I'm focusing on fundraising or if I'm focusing on building business, whatever it is, and then flyers. So you write that down. Then the next thing that you're going to do, and you're going to read this every single day so that it's in the forefront of your mind of what's your direction, what's your specific act that you're wanting to do. Then your follow-up is what are you going to do for the follow-ups? How many contacts are you going to make? Are you going to do it through Facebook? Maybe you're doing a repost for Facebook. Maybe you're doing sending out flyers to the people you met. I give you an example. I was in the I go shopping a lot for different things. So I was in the Winn-Dixie grocery line, and the person that I was speaking to in front of me happened to be a pastor. So my next follow-up with him was to send him a flyer on our fundraising project that we're doing. Folks, wherever your conversations are, make sure you're keeping your list. Coach has this fantastic layout, which I've got in a book that shows, who my contacts are, what my follow-ups are, so that we know we're able to track what we're doing. And then the final thing is, what is it that we are doing as far as getting people involved and integrated in the Zooms? We don't need to be the deal. We need to bring people to the deal that can explain it. We've got Coach, we've got Chris Johnson, when he's, God bless that man. He is so resilient. I saw him the other day. And if I can tell you, if it wasn't for these products, his recovery time would not be what it is. He literally just had brain surgery and the man is going home today. How many people do you know that happens? That tells you how phenomenal his body is at healing itself now when it wasn't in that position before. Coach, run to the next slide for me, please. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have some conversations. These are some conversations that we can have. I say, I'll ask people, are you keeping your career options open? Are you keeping your health options open? And then when they say yes or no, I say, if they say, yeah, I'm keeping it, great. I have something I want to show you to take about 15 minutes of your time. You may or may not be interested. If you are, great. If you're not, that's fine too. Even if you're not, you might know someone who is. Now, I've been using that phrase, doesn't matter what area, direction you put it in. Folks, take your phone out, take a screenshot, take a picture, because this is what it's all about. It's about having conversations. These 2 opening statements is how I build and grow my business. No matter where I am, I don't care if I'm in the checkout line at the grocery store. I don't care if I'm in the pharmacy. I don't care, not pharmacy, but the health food stores or doctor's office or Walmart. It's a gas line. I don't care. I go to pay for my gas when they don't give me my receipt. That's my habit. If that machine outside doesn't give me a receipt and I have to walk into the store, my conversation is, if the person's friendly, if they're not, I ask them if they know of anybody who's keeping their career options open. And if they say, yeah, well, what's it about? I'll say, well, it'll take about 15 minutes of their time. They may or may not be interested. If they are, great. If they're not, that's fine too. But, you know, who do you know? And they'll say me or my aunt or my cousin or my brother or my whoever. And then you get their information, you write it down, and you know, you put it on the back of your receipt. And guess what that is? It's called a tax write-off, folks. Tax write-off. Next screen, coach. Now, this is fantastic. We just said about 15 minutes of your time. It'll only take 15 minutes of your time. Reality is it takes 10, only 10 minutes of your time, because these 3 videos literally total less than 10 minutes. So it gives you an opportunity to share with people what Anjali is about, the Ayurvedics, how, you know, it's centuries old. It talks about the limitless. Now, folks, what do we have in the limitless stack? We have ambrosia. This builds your body's immune system. It strengthens your body. It also works on eyesight. Yay, eyesight, right? Then we have the vitality. Vitality is a vasodilator. Folks, I call this a smart pill because guess what it does? It brings oxygen to your brain. It also keeps you from, helps you to be able to deal with people who do stupid. You know, where you go, huh, I wouldn't have done that, but since you did, you know, you're able to stay thinking clearly and communicating clearly. It's a wonderful product. Works on great for energy instead of these doggone energy drinks that are bad on your heart. They put stress on your system. This doesn't do that. This is fantastic. I actually use the Vitality when I'm driving so that if I have to go long distances, I just take my Vitality and it keeps my brain alert and clear, and I don't do the dozing thing. Renew is one of their new products. This is part of the Limitless stack. This product is phenomenal. I had no expectations for this when I first started taking it. They just said, hey, it's a fountain of youth. And I'm like, hey, I'm on board. So I took it. Well, what I didn't know was what it was going to do for me. And what it did for me personally, the car accident that I was in 20 something years ago, that I took the medication that I went blind for 16 years from, also wiped out my short-term memory. It damaged an area of my brain that does short-term memory. I literally had no short-term memory for 20 years. None. I would, if you gave me a phone number and I looked down to write it down, it was gone. I had to be looking down at the same time as writing it in order to work. Within 6 weeks of taking this, I started remembering people's names. I started remembering phone numbers when people would give it to me. I was like, wow, this is pretty amazing. So that's our Renew. Then we have the Glycoslim. Folks, my husband, I love him dearly, but he sneaks things he shouldn't be sneaking. And you know what he sneaked the other day? He sneaked a McDonald's caramel frappe. Not a caramel frappe, a caramel frappe. Okay, the biggest one he could get. So guess what? His sugars went to 433. I was like, have you lost your mind? You know, what did you take? Oh, no. Yeah. Well, when we found out, I found the cup. So what we did was we took the Glycoslim. I found out that when you take the capsule and you open it up, put it in some water and drink it, it starts dropping your blood sugars crazy fast. So we were doing about every 30 minutes, giving him the Glycoslim, and it brought it back down to normal without having to take insulin. He's off all of his insulins. This is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. We're talking about products that will make a difference in your life. Now, the next video that we have talks about the income potential. And we'll talk a little bit about that more. Go to the next slide with you, Coach.
Everybody.
All right, so I'm going to have a conversation with you about a couple of different things that when you're talking to people, it says, first of all, what is it that you liked best? We don't want to know, you know, you don't want to say, well, what did you think? No. You want to direct the conversation and ask them, what did you like best about the product? How did you feel? I can tell you what happened to me yesterday. Yesterday, we had some folks, some friends that I've been dripping on for a good clip of time. And we see them in the temple every Thursday. You know, this one particular person was complaining about aches and pains. He goes, no, no, you know, that stuff, it doesn't work. I said, well, it doesn't work unless you try it, unless you use it. Well, guess what? His wife brought him over. He was at the point where he was using a walker. In order for him to get into our home, he had to stop 2 times before he got to the porch to rest. Then he had to stop halfway through the house to rest before he could get to the chair on the other side of the room. Now, he came in, I gave him 2 relief, and we were sitting and talking for about 15-20 minutes. And by the time, you know, we ordered him some product, his wife was like, she wanted the whole collection. He's like, no, we'll just start with a few things. So he got the ambrosia, right? Because he wanted whole wellness, relief, and vitality for circulation because he's got heart issues, the heart concerns. We won't say issues, concerns. So that's what he started with. When he left, right? He walks out with the walker like there's nothing going on. He gets halfway down the ramp, picks up the walker and carries it to the car and never stopped to rest. That's when you start asking people what they like best. That's what I did when I got to the car. I said, so what did you like best about the relief that you took today? He goes, well, boy, that stuff works fast. I said, yeah, it does. It was actually designed to work as fast as an opioid because that product, along with the Tranquility, was originally designed specifically for people in hospice. So it had to work as fast as an opioid because people in hospice, you know, they can't wait a month for something to kick in. So they wanted their clients to be comfortable and knowing that their loved ones were with them when they, you know, when they were in that process. The amazing things, such as my father, a lot of those people went home because their body said, hey, we're not ready to go. So the conversation you want to have is, what do you like best? And when you find out what they like best, when I asked that gentleman that question, he says, well, looks like we're probably going to be getting, we're going to be changing everything we have and just doing this whole collection that you've got. I said, yeah, it sounds like a plan. We'll sit down and have a conversation with you about that. So do you see how that can roll into something better? The next thing that we want to do is ask them what, on a scale of 1 to 10, when would you like to get started? You got to ask them, what is your interest in the company on a scale of 1 to 10? If they're a 2 or a 3, it's just about dripping on them, giving them more information. He was a 1, a 2, and a 3 for months. Well, guess what? Now he's a 10. He was an 8 yesterday, but by the time he left, he was a 10 because the product worked for him. Next slide, Coach. Now, the next question we're going to ask is, if somebody is looking for some extra income, we're going to say, well, how much money are you looking to get on an extra month, on a monthly basis? How much extra money? Could be an extra 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000. Depends on where the person is in income. You know, if they're making $10,000 a month, an extra 500, 250, $1,000, that's nothing. But if you're looking at meeting them with an extra 3 to 5 to another additional $10,000 a month, they're very interested in having that conversation. However, somebody's on Social Security and they're used to having $3,000 a month in income coming in, 2 to 3 or whatever it is, and you start talking about an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, they're very interested in having a conversation with you. So what you do is you ask them, what's their interest? Where do they want to be? Because if you start talking 10,000 and their mindset's not there, it's not going to do any good. So start having a conversation at the level that they're at. And then you ask them, in what time period would you like to, how much time would you be willing to spend on a weekly and monthly basis to accomplish that? You know, is it an extra 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, 20 hours a month? What does that look like for you? So you want to know how much they want to earn, how much time are they willing to participate in providing to do that? And in what length of time do they want to accomplish their goal to have that income source? So then if they say, well, gosh, I want an extra $1,000 a month. Great. So, how much time are you willing to put in? Well, I'm willing to put in an extra 10 hours a week. Okay. So you're for an extra $1,000 a month, you'll put in 10 hours a week, but you'd like to have it accomplished in the next 4 to 5 months, correct? Yeah. If I could show you, and this is where you take their information they gave you, and this is the question you ask. If I could show you that how you could earn an extra $1,000 or more a month with just putting 10 hours a week into sharing the resources and videos that we have about Anjali, where you can earn that extra income on a monthly basis within your 5-month period, you'd be ready to start now, right? And how much are you willing to invest in your business? That was one of the questions I forgot to ask. How much money are you willing to invest in your business? You know, if they say, hey, you know, I'm willing to invest an extra $250 a month into my business. Okay, great. Well, let me show you how you can do that. Remember, we were talking about the limitless stack, the ambrosia, vitality, glycoslim, and our renew, right? That is our limitless stack. That's what people can get started with when if they're on the, gee, I'm trying it out, I need to use the products and check it out first. All right. This is a great way to get started. So this is only the revenue from this is fantastic. So the market price is $275. But you know, when we're talking about the revenue stream that's coming in, this is only their revenue can be replaced in every single one of these areas. All they have to do is share it with 3 people who do the same thing that they did. That completely gives them the money, their initial investment back, and helps them in the future because now they have residual income coming in off that initial investment. Our Discovery Launch Pack is one of every product that the company has. And our Builder Pack is 2 of everything. It's our NutriVeda line, it's our fitness pack, as well as our water line. And the NutriVeda launch pack is 3 of all the NutriVeda line. Coach, could you go to the next slide? Thank you. Now, what I want to show you here, which is really interesting, is if somebody wants to earn an extra $1,000 a month, all they have to do is say, you do this, you get that, right? Well, if you do 6,000 in volume, you get that extra $1,000 a month. If somebody says that they want to have an extra $18,000 a month, all they have to do is have an extra 120 in volume. And that's not them personally, that's their whole organization or team. That's the key thing, that this is a team effort. So, Coach, I want to turn it back to you to wrap it up, sir.
Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2 things. Our next presentation is Sunday night at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. That's with Mr. Eric Glenn. Sunday night, 9:15. And for some reason, I left it off the schedule. But it is as important, and I challenge you to be there before me. Okay? And then Monday night, the corporate update. This has been absolutely fantastic.
Coach,
Doctor,
can I share one
yes.
thing? In all things, give thanks. This is my mantra for the week. In all things, give thanks. We're on the Easter weekend. We need to give thanks for all that we have, all that we are, and all that we can do to share and bless people with. This is an opportunity. You know, it's honestly, it's not about the money, because money comes from the gifts and blessings that we give others. then we'll have, I testify to you that you can't outgive God. So when you're doing his work by helping and blessing others, then you'll have everything that you need. And back to you, Coach.
Thank you, thank you. Lena, I don't want to put your sister on the spot, but if you can reach out to her and have her tell why or what she saw in the business to get started with you, it would be an honor.
Coach, I think her rider gave out. I don't think she's on.
Oh, okay.
But one of the things she told me was definitely the Ayurvedic and the nutritional products. She recognized the quality of the products and the combination of the products in the different of the ingredients, because she kept saying, what are the ingredients, what are the ingredients? And once she saw the presentation that you did, and she was familiar with all of them herself because of her background, that's what put her over the line. She said, there's a lot of products out there that have one or two or maybe a couple more of these, but nothing in this combination, in this amount, with because you need one to help the body absorb, you need the other. You know, a lot of people are doing one or two of these, but she had never seen a company where so many of the good products and the natural products were combined in them. So that's what made it for her.
And that's coming from MD.
She's yes, and her willingness, her wanting to give, and share the products for people who are suffering, people with pain, people with back issues that she knows that are in our circle, as well.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, she's not able to because she's
No
not able to
problem,
connect.
no problem. Next week, we've got Mr. Eric Glenn. Eric has been a manufacturer. He's lead distributor here, brand ambassador again tomorrow night at 9:15, and I'll post that out. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Michael Avery, thank you. Thank you for each and every one that participated. And let's just blow it up. Let's just blow it up for Monday night. Natalie, I see you. Thank you. Mary Eddings, we got to stop meeting like this. 25 years. Mark, Miss Linda, Lena, you're knocking it out the park. Laverne, Kim, many, many blessings. Gloria, I feel you. Gloria, I feel you. Eric, thank you for showing up. Darlene, Alice, Joseph, Mary, and thank you for myself for showing up. God bless you. And I will have this out to you on Monday. And G5G. I feel you. Okay, bye now. Thank you.
Namaste. God bless.
Happy
Namaste.
Resurrection Weekend, everyone.
Great.
Yes.